Hey guys, today I'm going to show you exactly how you can list a winning product on Amazon. Now, there are two different ways that you can actually do that. One of the ways will make you a crap load of money and again, leverage that organic traffic that Amazon brings. And the second way will allow you to literally lose all of the money that you put in to your business and your brand. Okay guys, so before we dive into things, like I mentioned, I actually want to show you how to leverage Amazon Seller Central and show you the different ways that you can create your listing in the first place. Now, this is different than the ways that I'm going to show you in the future, so make sure that you stay till the end so I can show you the differences between a listing that will make money versus a listing that won't make you any money at all. So now that I'm in Seller Central here, guys, what I want to show you guys is specifically how you can go from literally having 0 listings on your inventory dashboard to actually creating a listing so that you can start uploading the things that you need to start converting sales. So when we log in, as you can see, there are a couple different ways that we can actually upload and create a listing on the Seller Central catalog. The first one is through the Add Products tab, and the second one is through Add Products via Upload. Now, as you can see here, this is the Add Products via Upload method. Now, this is not something that a lot of people will know how to do transparently. It's not the easiest way, but it is going to be your fastest way should you know how to do this, okay? It's through what we call flat files, meaning it's an Excel template where we can upload all of our information directly into that Excel file. And then from there, we're actually able to go ahead and upload everything all at once. Now, when we go ahead and do this, what we're going to want to do is get the product template where we're actually listing products not currently in Amazon's catalog. Like I mentioned, this is the more technical way to actually get started on Amazon when creating your listing. The second way that I'm going to show you is actually going about and listing a product all by yourself. Okay guys, now that we're on this page, what we're going to want to actually do is click I'm adding a product not sold on Amazon. So when we click on this, as you can see, the first step that it requires us to do is actually go ahead and upload a category and choose our category that we're selling in. So as an example, what we're going to go ahead and do is actually show you this product right here, an AirTag wallet for men. Okay, so what we're literally going to do is go to some of your top competitors. You can typically just find ones with the highest reviews. And what you're going to want to do is ideally look at, your top 2 to 3 competitors and find out the categories that they're selling in. And that way we're mimicking our success off of an already successful product. Category is very important when it comes to indexation coming onto Amazon. And this is a common misconception and mistake a lot of people actually make in the Amazon space. Okay, so what we're gonna do is literally just scroll down here, and what we can see is we're gonna look for this product details tab, and then we're gonna find the bestseller rank. What we can then do is click on men's wallet, okay? And this is essentially our category downfall that we're actually going to go directly into. So it's essentially a larger category, then it goes into more subcategories. So first things first, we can do this a couple different ways. We're going to go ahead and grab this bolded text right here, and we're going to go ahead and literally just search up the category right here, okay? And then we're going to see a list of additional things. Our goal here is to make sure that this sequence is lining up with our competitor. And again, what you want to make sure you do is actually go and look at 2 to 3 competitors. For the purpose of this video, I'm only going to show you one of them. Okay, so as you can see, this goes to clothing, shoes, and jewelry. Clothing, shoes, and jewelry. Then it goes to men. It goes to men, then it goes to accessories, then wallet cards, men's accessories, wallet cards, and then wallet. So this is the exact category that we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and hit select, and then boom. As you can see here, our listing is now in a position where we can enter in all of the unique product details to give us the actual generation of our listing. When it comes to creating your listing, Amazon requires what we call an identification number for your product to make sure that it's unique within Amazon's catalog. Now, there are 2 different ways to do this. Number 1 is actually purchasing what we call a universal product code, or a UPC, from a website called GS1. Before, you were able to use recycled UPC codes that you can get for very, very cheap. The only UPC that is allowed on Amazon's platform to this date is from GS1 specifically. And if you make this mistake, you're gonna go through a challenge of you trying to change out that UPC code and likely will not actually be able to do it, meaning you're gonna lose out on a ton of sales. Amazon has actually recently done a flush of competitors who are not using actual UPC codes and don't have the direct information that's correlating on GS1's database. And they're in a position where they're fighting to get their listings back. I'm going to show you exactly what the GS1 looks like so that you can see how you can leverage that. But the second way that you can actually go ahead and do this, and the one that I actually personally recommend myself, is what we call GTIN exemption, Global Tax Identification Number exemption. And it's exactly how it sounds. A UPC is a GTIN. In other words, it's a unique product code. Now, we can actually get exempt by applying to be a brand owner on Amazon, okay, and apply for GTIN exemption so that we actually don't have to associate a unique product code to our listing to begin with. The benefit of this, in my opinion, is the fact that you can actually get GTIN exemption on a full category level, meaning you'll never have to purchase that UPC code, which could be anywhere between $300 to $200, and it's gonna allow you to save money in the long run. Okay, so now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is actually show you GS1 and what you can do. So you can go to this link right here. We'll make sure to include this into the bio of this description. It only costs $30 to get this. Depending on the GS1 code that you're looking for, it can be up to $200. All we're gonna wanna make sure we do is make sure that we have the brand name that's associated to the account, and make sure that you put an accurate product description that's gonna be linked to this. This is very, very important. If you do not do this correctly, Amazon is not gonna be able to accurately cross-reference this database to make sure that that UPC code is in fact for your product, okay? Now, the second way is, again, what we call GTIN exemption. What you're gonna wanna go ahead and do, now this is gonna be after you either get brand approval, okay, if you're not a registered brand, or go through brand registry and actually register your brand, meaning you'll need to have a trademark in place for that. What we're gonna wanna do is go ahead and select that category that we first established. And we first established that this is actually gonna be under the clothing, shoes, and jewelry category. From here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the brand name that we have for our brand that we're gonna be selling it under, and then we're gonna hit check for eligibility. Now, I'm already GTIN exempt, so it's gonna show that I'm already eligible for this. But for those that are actually not GTIN exempt, you're gonna be required to submit proof of your brand. And typically what they require is either your product and or your packaging in a lifestyle setting showing that your brand is clearly displayed on that specific product, okay? Very, very important. It's usually a pretty quick turnaround to get GTIN exempt, but when you do this, we'll go back to this listing here. You'll notice that this external product ID right here won't actually have an asterisk. So as you can see, I don't have an asterisk here, where if you didn't have GTIN exemption, you will have an asterisk, meaning you're required to put information here. All we're gonna have to do is, I don't have a product ID, and we will not have to put any information in there. Item name, we can keep this into what I like to call a bare bones listing. So we're gonna go ahead and put air tag wallet for men. Okay, this information we can change down the road, no problem. It doesn't really matter. We're just gonna again put bare bones information. You're gonna go ahead and hit continue, and we're gonna get some errors on some additional information that we're gonna wanna put directly in here. So item type, let's say it's a bifold, model number 0001. This information doesn't typically matter. If you do have specific information around this, you are definitely gonna wanna make sure that it's accurate, if it's to make sure that it lines up for your product, your packaging, etc., etc. Okay. We're gonna go to offer here. It's gonna be one quantity. We're gonna be selling this for $29.99. And then we're gonna wanna make sure that this is a new product here. And then fulfillment channel, if you're doing FBA, you're gonna click on this one right here, fulfilled by Amazon. If you're doing merchant fulfill, you're gonna click on that one right there. Awesome. So now that we have this information, we're just gonna literally go through wherever it's red, and we're gonna fill the information here. So again, this is a bare bones listing, and we're gonna be able to actually change this information down the road. Okay, so I'm gonna, for the purpose of this, I'm just gonna literally go and put in information that may not be 100% accurate. Okay, let's call it black, part number. Okay, that's good, closure type. Depending on the actual product itself, there might be different things required. I'm not gonna go through every single one of these different things, but all you're gonna wanna do is make sure you fill out everything that is required. And then from there, you're gonna hit save and finish, and you will be able to generate your first listing on Amazon. All right, guys, now that you actually know how to go ahead and create a listing on Amazon's catalog and the common mistakes when it comes to actually creating that, what I want to do is go through an example of a good listing versus a bad listing. And I'm going to be speaking in terms of search engine optimization and listing optimization. The consumer, at the end of the day, doesn't have the luxury of a retail store of touching, feeling the product, putting it in their pocket, actually feeling and trying the product at the end of the day. So we want to make sure that through our listing, we're displaying as much accurate information to give them enough closure to go ahead and actually purchase our product versus our competitors. So now what I want to do is actually show you the differences between a good and a bad listings. And trust me when I say this, when I go through these two different examples, you'll know exactly what I mean. So So these are the same product in terms of they're serving the same target market. This is a AirTag wallet that has a pullout. It's typically small and slim. Let's go through the images first. As you can see, these are definitely photos. Doesn't look too appealing. The dark color in the background doesn't look great. You know, the text doesn't look good. I don't see any branding. It just doesn't look good overall, okay? Over here, there are definitely some information that I would probably want to include. And I won't get into the nitty gritty of that, but first of all, just so that you know, you're allowed 200 characters directly in there, and you want to be fully optimized. I want to include at least 3 of your main keywords directly in here. You're not allowed emojis anymore on Amazon, so that's something that you're not allowed to do. Information, you know, this is probably fine per se. Now, I don't want to go through the process of actually going through and looking for, you know, how many keywords are directly in here. But typically speaking, you want this to be very benefit driven, okay? Now, if we're scrolling down, as you can see, we don't even see a product description. This is all we see right here. There's not enough information. So as a consumer, if they're scrolling down here, it's because they don't have enough information. The product description is actually the most opportunity that we have to really answer questions, okay? And they're not fully taking advantage of that. And if we scroll down here, there's some videos about this product. There's some questions about them, but nothing too significant. There's only 3 here. And overall, the ratings are all right. Now I want to show you a really good example of an actual listing that's phenomenal. So as you can see here, I can tell you that this is a render for sure, and it looks significantly better. It's taking up as much white space as possible. Here's another great image that has good branding, shows the benefits of the product. Again, dark, slim, really resonates with their customer. Here's another one where it shows how this can be used and the purpose of it. Again, very lifestyle, benefit driven, and overall just infographics that make sense and work. On top of that, they have a bunch of different videos that are going to really disclose a lot of information that you aren't going to be able to do and share through images. This, as you can see, this title compared to this title up here, longer, meaning they're fully taking advantage of this. They have their bullet points. I can already tell you that this has a lot more information, again, really closing the gap between what they're looking for. And on top of that, they have their product description filled out. So they actually have brand registry, they've applied for A+ content, and now they're able to display even more information through the use of infographics, which tells a lot of a larger story. On top of that, if we scroll down even more videos about this, a bunch of influencers are promoting this product, Amazon customers are promoting this product. They have literally 50+ questions that they've asked directly in here, meaning I can click on this and actually have answers to probably every single question that a consumer is going to have to feel confident in purchasing this product in the first place. Great ratings overall. Just overall, you can just tell the differences between this. A phenomenal job. Now, the studio that I recommend is the FBA Studio that's actually going to be able to take your idea of a product and create a brand and also optimize your listing. You can take a look at their services directly in here, what they offer, A+ content, logo branding, infographics, 3D rendering, etc., etc. All right, guys, so that is how you are gonna go ahead and list your first product on Amazon. And number 2, I hope you guys have a good understanding of what a bad listing looks like that will not convert any sales versus what a good listing will look like, where you can go ahead and actually get a return on your investment and take advantage of the power that Amazon brings. If you guys saw value in this video, and if you're in a position where you're actually launching your first brand, I built a quick little beginner's guide showing you all the additional steps after this as well that you can actually leverage to go ahead and learn more about building an Amazon brand.